Alright, everyone, do you know what I mean? Um, my name's Jonny Blair. This is some of my Oasis collection today. I won't include magazines, booklets, programs, t-shirts, clothes, apart from the arcade recent 2025 gig. So going back 32 years to when I started listening to Oasis, 1994, obviously when they came out. I've been collecting Oasis memorabilia, but I didn't quite realise how much it was that I'd collected until I started to look through the boxes. So here's a wee overview. We'll just go through bits and pieces. So first of all, video cassette tape, There and Then, Earl's Court, Main Road, Noel on stage at Main. That original one in 1996 came with a CD, which I'll have somewhere later. We'll have a look. So that's There and Then. Before that, we had Live by the Sea, which was released in a few different formats, including in a very old CD format, which is not available anymore, which my uncle actually used to play. And that is a rare one because Sad Song is on it. And that was the first official release of Sad Song in any format apart from the Definitely Maybe vinyl LP. And Do You Want to Be a Spaceman? As far as I remember, either that one or Talk Tonight, Noel fucks up the guitar during it and he has to stop. So that's the original Live by the Sea on VHS. It's been rewound to the start, as you can see. So it's ready to go if you have a video player, which I don't. Anyway, moving on to this century, Familiar to Millions, FTM. Released on multiple formats, also available on DVD. At the time, I was still doing VHS, so I bought it on VHS. That is Familiar to Millions. Does it open? Yeah. Also rewind to the start so I could watch it again. Right, I probably have some more random videos of Oasis recordings off top of the Pops, etc. Let's move on to some CDs. Downloaded that myself and then wrote on the CD, Lord Don't Slow Me Down, 2007. It's not an official CD release, but I was so into Oasis, and still am, of course, that I would make my own Oasis stuff, which you'll see some of that. So, Lord Don't Slow Me Down, the classic Stop the Clocks EP, the old 4-track one. Stop the Clocks, of course, was actually the, I already owned every song on it when it came out. Same with this, except there's a different version of, some might say, and a Cigarettes and Alcohol demo, which I already heard anyway, but the CD actually looks like that. That's Stop the Clocks EP. Liam Gallagher, rare one. There's a lot of bootlegs on here. It's Liam Gallagher, acoustic, live and rare. Whatever's on it, Shaker Maker's on it. Life in Vain, and the Quiet Ones. That's a really cool one. Live and acoustic, rare. There's an official release, Shock of the Lightning, £1.99 I paid for it, and it's also got on it Falling Down as a B-side, which is a remix from the Chemical Brothers. Oasis live in Belfast was absolutely fabulous. I was at the concert both nights in Belfast, but that's the actual CD version of it, which again was a bootleg, which I'm sure the Gallagher brothers will be quite pleased about anyway, because we buy all the real stuff as well. You know, it's not like we're only buying the bootlegs. One of the original interviews I had on CD was that one. Liam in his pose. Tony McCarroll makes it onto the front, although when I bought that, Tony McCarroll had left the band. The CD of that looks like that. And there's a wee book with it, which at the time probably gave me loads of information on Oasis that I didn't know back then. Was it 96 that was released? So I remember that bridged the gap a wee bit between the Morning Glory and Be Here Now releases, when Oasis fans were frantically waiting for the next one. In that period, we also had the Seahorses come out, Love Me and Leave Me, co-written by Liam Gallagher, obviously with Chris Helm, and obviously Johnny Squires, he knows well now, recorded with them. Lila, is that? Yeah. I also almost instantly know them just by looking at the front. That's Lila, the original CD of Lila with Eyeball Tickler and Won't Let Me Down, singing their hearts out. I made that myself. I recorded different stuff from I downloaded some illegal stuff from LimeWire and Napster back in the day. Made my own Oasis compilation. It's got a track on there called Noel's Cough, and then it's also got Don't Go Away acoustic, Magic Pie acoustic, Carnation, and an acoustic demo of Slow, which eventually made it onto one of the later albums with a different title. Royal Philharmonic. Noel is very, very good at giving permission to other bands and companies to release some of his stuff. So, either likes of Mike Flowers Pops, Supernova did, some might say, and Mike Flowers Pops, of course, did Wonderwall. That is the Philharmonic Orchestra, basically playing the Oasis songs in orchestra with violins and all. It's brilliant. No singing in it, worth crack. I bought the Seahorses album just because Liam played on or wrote the seventh track, Love Me and Leave Me. There's some good stuff on there as well. Suicide Drive, Blinded by the Sun, I Want You to Know, and Love is the Law is a great song. Seahorses. Let There Be Love, Noel's Keys on the front cover, B-sided by Sitting Here in Silence on My Own, and a version of Rock and Roll Star live at Manchester City Football Stadium. That was the last single from the Don't Believe the Truth album. 997, this was a classic. This was absolute. This blew my mind when it came out. It's got the Stand By Me version, sitting by Bonehead swimming pool, in the summer of 97 when the world was just Oasis-y. And that's got like a version of I Got the Fever on it, which is a different one. And it's got the radio edit of Do You Know What I Mean, which is brilliant if you don't want to listen to the whole version. I'm Out of Time, one of the later singles from obviously the last album that is currently being released. Dig Out Your Soul. That one also on the B-side is just two remixes. That's boring for Oasis, to be honest. I'm Out of Time remix and The Shock of Lightning. Importance of Being Idle. Nice wee guitar in the front. Pass Me Down the Wine and the Quiet Ones. Good wee song by Lee in there. Quiet Ones. That's a good single. I know the roads on which your life will drive its roll with it. The original one, filmed on Western Supermare Beach. The shoot, and they actually released it on Creation and Sony, but the TVs are Panasonic because Sony wouldn't let Oasis use Sony TVs that day. It's a nice wee story that from Brian Cannon if you catch it. Roll with it. 20 rare tracks, Liam on the front, John Lennon-esque. This is a classic Lost kind of Forbidden Fruits of the Desert. This has got I'm the Walrus and Jules Holland on it. It's got You Got to Hide Your Love Away, Don't Look Back in Anger acoustic, and even Cigarettes and Alcohol live in Denmark. My name is Eugen and I come from Copenhagen. Oasis 94-96, it's the Blue album. That was the first time I had Bonehead's Bank Holiday on CD because it was previously only available on the Morning Glory van. That's a nice wee blue, almost Manchester City esque cover there. Nice one that. For the guitar freaks, this was a good one. It was Morning Glory as an interactive songbook, so you could actually play What's the Story, Morning Glory, well, and you get a 2 CD with it. Don't know how many times I played that trying to get my hands on a guitar and work out Wonderwall or Casting No Shadow. That's a good one. The Master Plan. I released the Oasis fans didn't really need or want because we had all the songs already. So when they released that, it was like, do we buy it or do we just wait for the next album? And it was in the gap between Be Here Now and Sot Sog Standing in the Shoulder Giants. And I just thought, you know what, they're my favourite band. I'm just going to buy it anyway. To take it to number one in the chart, obviously, which it did. Every Oasis album's been number one. That's how good they are. That is my original copy of What's the Story, Morning Glory. So that is 31 years old. Wow. Still works, I'm sure. Noel's head on it. We just go on YouTube and play it now. epic album. What's that? The Party's Here. That is another version of covers of Oasis songs that Noel Gallagher licensed to a company called Music Bank in the Czech Republic. I have no idea where I got that. I just know that I walked in the 90s and early noughties. I'd walk into record shops and just buy wee gems. Like, if there was something of Oasis I'd never seen before, I'm buying it. I don't care if it's like an import single and I've got all the songs. If it's new, it's different, it's in a different box, says Oasis on it. I'm having it. So that was one of those ones. So that's another version of I'm Out of Time. I must have bought it twice. One would be an import, one would be normal. Be Here Now, of course, my favourite Oasis album ever. I've bought it. I haven't bought it twice. I've bought it 5 times. So I bought it on tape and CD the day it came out, which was the 21st of August 1997, never to be forgotten. I bought the box set. I then bought the American import, and I then bought the re-release. So I've bought the same album 5 times, but that's okay because that one has a CD in it, as you can see, pristine. Don't Go Away. I probably haven't even played that. There you go. I've played that 0 times, that American import. Actually, although it's an American import, I imported it because I was in Florida and I bought it the week of Be Here Now's release. I actually bought both of those on the day of release. So I was in Northern Ireland on the 21st of August, 1997, and on the 26th of August, 1997, I was in Florida and I bought Be Here Now. I'm not sure how many people bought Be Here Now twice on the day of release in 2 different continents. But anyway, this one, that's the American one, I've played it 0 times. This one I've played 50,000 times. It doesn't even look that scratched. That's how cool it is. And if you don't believe that I bought the album more times, I actually have proof of that because I made my own clock. I made my own Be Here Now clock with a battery in it out of one of the CDs. So there are 3 CDs of Be Here Now, actually. Yeah, simultaneously there's 3. That's the is that the British one? Yeah, that's the UK one. That's the US one. See, I've never even, yeah, that's the US one, and that is the clock one. Yeah, so and then I've got a box set, and I've also got 2. So we go, Be Here Now thrice. Why not? It's the best album of all time. Girl in Dirty Shirt, still one of my all-time epic songs, just can't be beaten. You've Got a Feeling Lost Inside, Just Won't Let You Go. What else have we got here? Absolutely nuts stuff this is. Creation for the Nation. Anything remotely Oasis-y in the 90s, we were having it. Free cassette in the NME, just because it had a different version of Live Forever, I got it. And it says on there, Oasis Live Forever demo from 1993. Epic stuff. And it's on cassette tape. Cassette tapes, I've got a lot of these in tape as well. Mike Flowers Pops, You're My Wonderwall. Absolute classic. The interesting is the B-sides on that. Son of God and Theme from Memory Man. I love the way it says written by Noel Gallagher. You know, he's a top man for letting, you know, this guy have his moment of fame by releasing Wonderwall. That's fantastic. Because if he'd have said no, you know, as Noel says, he's a fan of music. Why would you say no to someone that wants to record your song? Some might say that was £2.29 in 1995, but I got it to number 1. So I bought it on cassette. Yeah, I didn't have a CD player until 96, but I have the original. Some might say for the B-side Talk Tonight. I can't believe how dear that was, £2.29. But at that time, Oasis were sort of peaking, and you would pay, you'd pay more than that for it. What else have we got here? Story and the Glory. It's actually a wee documentary CD, if you've seen that one. Yeah, that's a decent one to give it a wee listen. This one, that was one of my favourites, is The Untold Story. They're in New York in the Imagined Gardens in the front. and I went to that spot just to get my photo taken, doing the Lennon, doing the Liam, because John Lennon, of course, just used to live across from Strawberry Fields, and actually he was shot dead there at the Dakota building. You sort of do both on the same trip. And that one, I just loved that one for the tracks on it. I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, you've got on here Colour My Life, Take Me, See the Sun, Must Be the Music, Better Let You Know, Snakebite, an early version of Columbia, Must Be the Music, I Will Show You, Untitled Jam. One of those was Alice, and just amazing songs before Oasis became massive, even before Definitely Maybe's release. That's a classic, Real Untold Story. Sailing Down the River Alone, Liam and Noel. That's a quote from Listen Up, yeah, and that's a track list on the back. That's one of my self-made ones. There's a version of My Generation on that. There's Finsbury Park, Hung in a Bad Place live. I've got Strange Thing. I've got Listen Up, This Guy's in Love with You by Burt Bacharach. And a brilliant version here of Underneath the Sky, acoustic, class. And Mrs. Robinson, a cover version. Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is demo. So that's a good one that I made up myself. Again, I downloaded those from like LimeWire and Napster years ago. Cover versions. Yep, Noel Never Says No. So Don't Look Back in Anger. They said, can we do a cover version? The band was called the Wurzels. What I love about this is their B-side is called Morning Glory. Yeah, and Noel's like, that's all right, mate. Yeah, so the first one is written by Noel Gallagher, and the Morning Glory, that the Wurzels actually wrote that. It's one of their songs. And I'm a cider drinker. And what's cool is the Wurzels have sort of copied the Oasis logo as well. And that's a cool cover, actually, to be fair. If I got, where's Morning Glory cover? Here's, see that? Bit of a paradox. And it's Don't Look Back in Anger. That's class. It's a good one. Love this one. Devil's Refugee. That was live in Birmingham for Be Here Now tour. Most of the songs are Be Here Now, which is a great one to have, because that tour was that was Oasis at their absolute peak. CD's quite plain, with the Oasis logo. There's a ticket on the back, and track listing. Do You Know What I Mean? Stand By Me, Stay Young live, which is great to have. Be Here Now live. It's Getting Better Man live. Fading Out live. All Around the World live. Acquiesce, Champion Supernova, Live Forever, and Stand By Me. Supernova, I might have referenced that earlier. It's another cover version. So Supernova, they're a dance band, I think from the Netherlands, and obviously they called Noel and said, can we cover Some Might Say? And they went, yeah. So there's the Supernova version of Some Might Say. It's really dancey, it's really cool, and written by Noel Gallagher. And also they've got a mix called The Secret Orgasm Mix, and the B-side is called When Saturday Comes. That's probably one that Noel would probably have respected as well, because it's a bit very different remix of his song, sort of on the David Holmes level, and also they have the When Saturday Comes football reference in Noel's House Party. Obviously the title is stolen from Noel Edmonds on the BBC, and this is a great wee piece of history, because there are 3 songs on here that you don't get anywhere else. You've got Chipper Son of a Bitch, Wonder Picket Fence, and Goodbye Cold World. So those 3 are quite rare Oasis songs. They're not even Oasis. Well, they are Oasis songs, because Noel wrote Chipper Son of a Bitch live on radio. It's not a real song. It's only a piss take, really. Wonder Picket Fence is Wonderwall, and the guy was taking the piss, so he said, well, this one's called Wonder Picket Fence instead of Wonderwall, like an American radio show. And Goodbye Cold World, taking the piss out of a song as well. And there's some good stuff on there. You got like the MTV Unplugged performance and a Married with Children acoustic in Toronto, absolute class. Noel's House Party. We've got an album here called Definitely Maybe. That is my original CD that I bought back in '94. Well, it's 32 years old. I remember this because I bought it on CD, and I didn't have a CD player, but my dad had one, so I was it. The first time I'd have played that would have been I'd have had to have asked my dad permission to play it. And of course, the first song on that is Rock and Roll Star. I never bought that on tape, did I? Don't have definitely maybe on tape. Only had it on CD, because in those days we knew all the songs, and I was buying the singles on tape more often. Which, speaking of which, there's Cigarettes and Alcohol on tape, which kind of it came in a. This is classic. It came in the cigarette box, and you open it, and the tape's also in a tape box. On the B side of that is I'm the Walrus. I remember hearing that thinking, whoa, what on earth is this song? That hasn't been rewound. Probably because I played it quite often in my car, that one. It's a thing with cassettes. You gotta. That is not in pristine condition, but what can you do? It's the Oasis cigarette box. Rock and roll can be fatal. I don't remember many other bands doing that. I mean, Oasis did it not just with the tape, but they did the CDs on cassette as well. What else have we got here? We got Oasis Kicking Up a Storm, which was a fanzine about Oasis written by me. Story for another day. Right, this one, I gotta go through all these. This will take forever. Right, let's go through these then one by one. These are easy. Stop Getting Your Bait, Guys. Stop Crying Your Heart Out. Original single, Big Brother Records. Thank You for the Good Times and Shout It Out Loud on the B-sides. That's Oasis. What is that? There's something in here. That is nuts. So the Melody Maker, when you went to a concert, they'd give you you get the Melody Maker, the magazine, which doesn't exist anymore, and it's wipe here, wipe now. So obviously I kept it, stuck it in beside Stop Crying Your Heart Out. That makes kind of sense somehow. You can tell by the back of that. It's the Hindu Times. They've even put an Indian like image on the front. And I Get So High I Just Can't Feel It. Great song and great CD here. Second track, Just Getting Older, and the third track, Idler's Dream. What a hat trick of songs by Oasis. Don't know if it gets any better than that. Those three are brilliant. I can listen to that over and over again. I Get So High I Just Can't Feel It. Songbird, actually not one of my favourites, believe it or not, despite loving Oasis. I always find this one a little bit too short and too Beatlesy. You've got The Heart of a Star on the B-side, it was a great B-side in the Columbia Live version. And I paid $2.99 for it in a shop called Sanity. Right, what else have we got here? There's something random there. What on earth is that? My gosh, there's a Sunday Times album of the month now on DVD. An Oasis interview. Don't even remember buying that. Obviously, I bought the newspaper and got it free in there. The worst cover ever. I mean, CD cover ever of an Oasis single. That is Little by Little and She Is Love, which is a double A side. Don't even know why they did it as double A side. Front is red, white, pink, and orange. The back is Man City Blue. That probably doesn't look on the video, but it's Manchester City Blue, purple and grey. And the third track on that is My Generation, which you know they recorded quite a bit. Alright, this one is called Play Guitar with Oasis. So it's like they actually tell you how to play guitar. Only some of the songs, Hey Now, Morning Glory, She's Electric, Supersonic, Up in the Sky, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Roll With It. And that came free with a book called Play Guitar with Oasis. So there you go. That's from about 95. That one. The Familiar to Millions featured earlier on video. There's this double CD of it live at Wembley. You get a map of Wembley. The old Wembley. And Oasis have since played the new one, of course. That was a massive gig. I was at 4 Oasis concerts that year. 5. I was at no, wait a minute, that was 2000. So that I was at the Dublin one in Lansdowne Road. In 2002, I was at 5 in the year. This is Familiar to Millions. That was the first official live CD only album. I think, yeah. Although, yeah, There and Then came with the CD, and Live by the Sea was on this old disc format. The Wonderwall, it's not Patsy Kensit or Meg Matthews, it's a Creation Records girl, and that's the US import single. So if you bought Wonderwall in the USA, it would have been like that, in that style of box, the digipack, the bigger box, because the UK ones were in the slimmer box. I remember buying that, going, that looks like an album. And on it, Round Away, Talk Tonight, Rockin' Chair, and I'm the Walrus. Charted quite well in USA, and of course became massive. Another bootleg, Working Class Hero, Noel Gallagher. That's the first time I heard You've Got to Hide Your Love Away and Sad Song, both on the same CD. He's doing the fingers, and it says Your Boy on the actual CD. Working Class Hero was a classic. That was a really classic bootleg. That bridged the gap between What's the Story, Morning Glory, and B here now. Import single of Live Forever, even though it looks like the real Live Forever, if you look at it, there is a slight difference. Track 5 is Supersonic, which the original Live Forever in the UK only had 4 tracks. So the difference is that it's got Supersonic on track 5 because the first 2 tracks are both Live Forever. You got Live Forever, Radio Edit, and the original Live Forever. Import single. This is my favourite, one of my favourite front covers of an Oasis single. It's Don't Go Away. If you open it out, you can see that that's the John Lennon Airport in Liverpool. I always thought that should have been a single in the UK, that or The Girl in the Dirty Shirt, but this was released in Japan as a single. Cold and Frosty Morning. There's not a lot to say with all the things caught in my mind. As the day was dawning, my plane flew away with all the things caught in my mind. And there's the aeroplane about to fly away. Inside the booklet, it's like a full booklet in there. You got it also came with a free poster, and it's got the lyrics. That was a great, really great Japanese import single to have. It's got on it Don't Go Away, Cigarettes and Alcohol Live, Sad Song, and the Fade Away War Child version with Lisa Moorish. And here's the poster. I haven't actually used this since I bought it in '97. Look at that. Okay, it's a classic double Oasis poster there with Liam and Noel, one on each side. And the Don't Go Away import single from Thanks Japan. Should have been released in the UK though, Noel. Right. Yeah, because they got into the habit of only releasing 3 songs from those 2 albums, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants and Thingy, Be Here Now. Before that, it was like 4 singles per album. I was touring the USA and I got this Champagne Supernova. That's the radio. That's the radio stations would have had this version to play. That's like the radio version of it. I picked it up in a record shop just by chance. Nice wee cover on that. And the kind of the color scheme is weird. It's a Man City. It's like it's light blue and then it's purple. Same on the side. I reckon Noel's organised that because in those days, Man City had that brother sort of purple away kit. That's a good one to have. I love this one. It's No Oasis. Do you know what I don't mean? The cover band. That's their original single, which charted in the UK. They did a cover of I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. And then they also did the Quicksand song and Good Times, which one of their own songs. So they didn't actually cover any Oasis songs there. But that charted, and the Quicksand song is a bit of a piss take from the Swamp song, but a great band as well to watch. And there's their original version of that, which is the promo copy, which is that's the one the radio stations would have played. I did some radio work late 90s and early part of this century, so I'd pick up the odd radio edit and radio CD. Chemical Brothers, Let Forever Be. Noel obviously did 2 songs with them. One was Let Forever Be, the other was Setting Sun. So I've got both of those. There's a Priceless Creation from the Enemy. and that was just Creation Records, like My Bloody Valentine, Primal Scream. Oasis is the first track on there. Acquiesce, which would have been the first time people had a chance to listen to Acquiesce, which was not that well known outside the Oasis sphere at the time. Scorpio Rising was a Death in Vegas song that featured Liam Gallagher on the vocals. Brilliant. So there you go. Liam doesn't appear to be on the single, apart from his name. It does say with Liam Gallagher, and then on the back, it's a good song. It's Death in Vegas. So probably late 90s or early part of this century. Right, that's one pack. We're not done yet. There's more in that book. Oh, there's this here. Right, let's do this bit. Okay, DVDs then. Yeah, DVD. Yeah, oh, that's the Lord Don't Slow Me Down DVD. That's the double box pack, which is two, is it a CD and a DVD. That's City of Manchester. Yeah, that was a big one at the time. I remember that. Really, really good sleeve art on that. Nuts band photos, like with the band partying with all their mates after the gig. Lord Don't Slow Me Down. I like the sleeve on that because I didn't like many of the sleeves after the 90s, but that's a decent one. And that was released. That was I Don't Believe the Truth tour, wasn't it? Yeah, 2005. Great. Obviously, then we've got There and Then was earlier on VHS. I have it on DVD as well. That's the DVD version. Main Road. So actually, that's the whole of Man City there. That's the Main Road and City of Manchester gigs together. That's like your Pep Guardiola pilgrimage there. Before he was even there. What have we got here? Did I buy it? Yeah, I bought it. Stop the Clocks. Why not? It's a compilation. It's supposed to be the best of. I didn't think it was necessarily the best of. It was Noel's best of. Comes with two CDs and a DVD. And I rarely played that because I already had every single song on it. The only benefit of having it is as a collector, and also you get a film about the band on it, and you get Champagne Supernova at Nebworth, you get Fade Away in Chicago, and the Lock the Box interview. And you also get the randomness of, at the time, playing those songs in that order, which you wouldn't have done in any other situation. So to have Lila sort of straight after Talk Tonight never happened before or since. So Stop the Clocks. And I did pay full price for that at the time, which is 16 quid. I bought that in London in HMV the day it came out. Right, what have we got in here? Oh, speaking of buying the day they came out, I was in Belfast at midnight to buy that. It's the Standing on the Shoulder of Giants album. Not a great front cover, really. Picture of New York. Come on, stick Manchester on there. But there's a CD of it. It is Sotsog. Go let it out, go let it in. Put your money where your bake is. That was still one of my favourite moments, buying that day of release. And just sort of the darkness of it all. Like, that Be Here Now was so up and uplifting and just vibrant. And then this is like the sort of come down album. Still brilliant. Just love it. And, Gas Panic, Where Did It All Go Wrong? I Can See a Liar. No More Giants. That was Oasis' last ever concert, which is now a lie, of course, because they're still touring. That's a bootleg. Do you know what I mean? I got that from working in radio. That's the radio edit. So all the DJs would have had that one originally. I like the CD of it because it's basically got two tracks. It's got, do you know what I mean, radio edit? Do you know what I mean, album version? And it's kind of black and white, whereas the CD release was slightly lighter color. So I like that one. Comes in a digibox, and obviously the boys are on the front. Filmed in Wigan. Early Oasis, Under the Boardwalk, absolute class. And on the CD it says Liam Sorts It Out. Not sure what he sorts out, his hair or the band. But there he is on the back of a scooter with Noel, and on here is like Up in the Sky. There's an Octopus's Garden version and Shaker Maker early version from the Boardwalk in Manchester. So you're going back to '93. I love that. This is one of the best Oasis bootlegs ever. It's the Standing on the Shoulder of Giants demos, and Noel sort of sitting in front of New York on the front, and then on the back Liam is on the piano. And the songs here, like there's 3 songs, and they are Solve My Mystery, Getting Older, and It's a Crime. And 2 of those haven't actually officially been released. Getting Older, of course, was later released on the B-side of the Hindu Times as Just Getting Older. They changed it. It's a Crime turned into Let There Be Love because they changed the title of it. But the demos on this are just brilliant. Like Carry a Soul demo, Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is acoustic with Noel singing. Absolutely class. That is Noel's giant demos. If you don't have it, just go on YouTube and listen to that. It's fantastic. Even got I Can See a Liar demo. Brilliant. Another of Noel's acoustic ones is the Unplugged. It's volume 2. There is a volume 1. I don't have the volume 1. So if you have volume 1, well done. That's volume 2. What's my favourite on that? Probably Shaker Maker, because it was like a rare kind of Noel gig on support to Primal Scream. He did Slide Away. It's a great version of Slide Away on it as well. And you can also get Chipper Son of a Bitch on that. Don't Believe the Truth. I bought that twice. Well, I have the other digipack version. This is the it reminds me of Del Boy. I don't know why. It looks like Only Fools and Horses garages or something. Don't Believe the Truth. Yeah, it looks like the garages out of Fools and Horses there. Nice wee track listing writing on the back. Favorite song on that, Part of the Queue, followed by Lila. Part of the Queue, brilliant. Heathen Chemistry. One of the albums that passes you by quickly because of the tracks that you never hear anymore. Like, listen to this. She Is Love, Born on a Different Cloud, Better Man, Hung in a Bad Place, Force of Nature. Haven't heard those in years. And that is the original. I always thought that was a funny CD. Didn't really, it doesn't say the name on it. It's just Liam's face in the microphone. Even Chemistry, what's here? We got another bootleg here. It's on Later with Jules Holland. That's Liam. There's the My Generation's on that. That was basically just a Later with Jules Holland performance with a few acoustic sessions. They stuck the Radio 1 ones on there, which is like Noel and Sunday Morning Call, Who Feels Love, which is great. Let's All Make Believe, absolutely fantastic version of that. Well, if it still works. The French radio. I always find it funny that the bootlegs have a barcode on them. Like, well, it's illegal, so who's going to scan that? But yeah, they always stick a barcode on it to make it somehow look realistic. Help, of course, is a real album as The War Child, and that was recorded and released within about, I think it was 2 days or something. 95. I think Oasis twice on that, if I recall. Fade Away is the Oasis song on it, and Paul Weller, Paul McCartney, and Noel are on it with the Smoking Mojo Filters, which I don't know, did they get back or come together? One of those. Another classic from the Be Here Now, Right Here, Right Now documentary, like Liam with his orange hooch, and they're playing pool in the bar. And it was a golden disc, Be Here Now Live 97. Do you know what I mean? Magic Pie. There's a version of It's Getting Better Man on there too. Noel's just sitting next to a dartboard living his best life ever, 97. Another of my favourites, the Acoustic Sessions, Volume 2. I don't know Volume 1. If you've got Volume 1, well done. It's orange logo on the back. And just a few random Noel acoustics. Camden. He's done a bit in Camden, and he's recorded in the Royal Festival Hall in London. This Guy's in Love with You, Burt Bacharach cover version. This is the gig of the century. Nebworth. second night, and this was the first CD that most fans heard My Big Mouth, and it's getting better, man. So like, Nebworth was August '96. Oasis didn't actually. It was a double CD because it was such a massive concert, like 20, 24 songs. It was such a massive concert and a massive time that Oasis didn't allow Radio 1 or MTV to record My Big Mouth or It's Getting Better Man. But we're at the gig, so if the gig's recorded, every song's going to be on there. So these versions have My Big Mouth and It's Getting Better Man on them. And between August '96 when they recorded it and August '97 when they released Be Here Now, that was the only way you could get those two songs was on the bootleg, and everyone expected My Big Mouth to be the next single. And then Noel shocked the world with, do you know what I mean? What do we got here? So much in this box. This is a long video. Going Underground, Buffalo Tom. Obviously, that was Liam. And that's a classic CD because there's only the wee bit in the middle that actually is CD. That's a great cover version of The Jam. Liam Gallagher with Steve Craddock. Charted in the UK, and also on there is Paul Weller. There you go. Liam. This is my own mix, which I clearly either didn't have a cover for or didn't make a cover for. I called it No Love in Your Shotgun Town. I downloaded like demos from, looks like demos from Be Here Now and Standing on the Shoulder. That's Entertainment by The Jam. You've got the Heart of a Star demo. Day Tripper Live with Pearl Jam in 1997. Steve Coogan impersonating Liam Gallagher, and Tutti Huacan, the X-Files. Yeah, Noel wrote a song for the X-Files in 1998, and also Noel collaborated with Goldie in '97. They're all on there. I've just downloaded that randomly. Haven't listened to it for years, but you can YouTube them. Rehabsolutely Fabulous on bootleg CD. That's the Belfast gig, 2002 Odyssey. That's not even Oasis. So that's another band I like, Ash, but it's in the middle of Oasis. That's an Ash B-sides album. That's fair play, Ash. That's the only non-Oasis CD that's made it in there that doesn't have a link directly to Oasis. Because obviously the other stuff there, Death in Vegas and all the Oasis members have been on it. So shout out to Tim Wheeler, Mark Hamilton, and Rick Murray from Ash. Northern Irish as well. Definitely Glory Now was me just picking my best songs from those three albums. So definitely maybe Morning Glory, Be Here Now. I just picked my favourite 15 songs at the time. And it says at the bottom, made in Northern Ireland, respect to the legend that is Noel Gallagher. There you go. Stuck Where Did It All Go Wrong and Don't Go Away is the last two tracks in there. That's class. That's a good one. It's a really great compilation there. Right, slowly down the Hall of Fame, another one that I made myself. It's got Merry Christmas, Everybody on it. It's got Heathen Chemistry, which was supposed to be a song, but it wasn't. It was a fan. If you remember back, the fan made a song called Heathen Chemistry. It's on there. Bring It On Down demo. Do You Want to Be a Spaceman demo. There's other stuff on there. Right, these two. Iconic. The Digibox for, do you know what I mean, which is silver. That's not black or grey, that's silver. And it's shiny. I always used to smell them. Smells alright actually. Can't believe it's 29 years later. Yeah, 97 I bought that. Day of release, 7th of the 7th, 97, you never forget it. Filmed in Wigan. Shoot, do you know what I mean? Made it to number one easily. Stay Young. On the B side with Angel Child and Heroes covers David Bowie. Stand By Me also came in a digipack. The only two that were released in that digipack, because all around the world wasn't. And that's a great single. That is just, if you haven't heard Oasis before, this is the one. Stand By Me, I Got the Fever, My Sister Lover, Going Nowhere. 4 absolute top level tracks, like hard to beat that. Those are the originals. Right, what are we moving on to now? This is a long video. Looks like I bought some singles. Let's go. As long as this video so far, 45 minutes. Do about 2 hours of this. Supersonic, first ever single. But that's the original one, not the re-release. Creation Records. Take Me Away, Columbia, white label demo. And I Will Believe. Cracking last B-side. So, Supersonic, keep them in order. Shaker Maker, got the number 11. Green, white, and orange. And they melted everything on the front. You Want to Be a Spaceman, Alive. Track 3, very underrated, Bring It On Down. Also a live version. Live Forever, John Lennon's House on the front. Classic front cover, and that's the original one. There's a live version of Supersonic and that, along with Cloudburst, which was the only released version of Cloudburst. I Can Feel the Rain, another lost wasted song, another version of Cigarettes and Alcohol. Always find it funny that the CD is sort of like blue, white, and red, and then when you get the actual CD itself, is green and red. It's got I Am the Walrus, it's got Listen Up, and it's got Fade Away. And the Gallagher's are having a party. Right, throwaway single, which this used to be like, I remember in the 90s, people used to talk about this. Oh, Oasis have a song called Whatever. Have you ever heard it? It's like, oh, what album is it on? And people go, oh, it's not on Definitely Maybe. It's not on Morning Glory. It's not on Be Here Now. It's not on the Master Plan. It's not on the master plan because it's not a B-side. It's a full-on single. Christmas number 3. Should have been Christmas number 1, but I think it was East 17. Stay Another Day. Kept it off. Absolutely brilliant song. Free to be whatever I like, and I'll sing the blues if I want. It's good to be free. Half the world away. And Slide Away was thrown on there. I wonder was that to sell a few extra copies of Definitely Maybe for those who hadn't yet heard it. But that's whatever. First ever number 1 for Oasis. Unbeatable. Some might say. I love the fish reference. Sink is full of fishes. She's got dirty dishes in the brain. And that was filmed in a disused train station somewhere near Derby. And it's actually Nolan Lame on the front. Brian Cannon designed all these covers. The cover art. And they're just fantastic and, you know, relevant to that era. The B-sides of this, wow. Talk Tonight. Acquiesce. Head Shrinker. Head Shrinker. Sounds like a doctor that's gone wrong. Psychiatrist. Another version of Roll With It. I think I have 4 versions of that. Got it on tape somewhere as well. Did I set that over? I've got a cassette of Roll With It. Can't seem to find it now. Oh, it is down now. Yeah. Yeah, there's exactly the same song. Why have I got it on tape and CD? You'll know why, because Blair released Country House the same week, so I bought Roll With It twice. Because Blair had 2 CDs and a tape for Country House, and Oasis had these 2 plus the vinyl, probably 11-inch, or 12-inch and a 7-inch. But I wasn't really buying vinyl, so I bought these 2 and Roll With It got to number 2. They say Oasis lost the battle but won the war, and that's cool to have both. Right, maybe you're going to be the one that saves me. At the time, I thought it was an amazing song, and now it's been overplayed, but it's still Wonderwall. He wrote that. Noel wrote that. You can't diss it. Was my favourite single for a long time. Worn off again by globalization, but Don't Look Back in Anger. Just the riff, the enthusiasm, the happiness, and Sally's Waiting. The B-sides of both of those, forgot to mention Wonderwall on the B-side, has the Master Plan, Roundaway, and the Swamp Song. Here in Don't Look Back in Anger, you got Step Out, Underneath the Sky, and a cover version of Come On Feel the Noise, which is Slade. Brilliant. Roll With It, of course, the B-sides, forgot to mention. There's one that It's Better People, doesn't get a lot of airway. It's a decent wee tune, and a Rockin' Chair's class. It's all too much to me to take, and you're not there. It's Rockin' Chair. Live Forever, Glastonbury Live has a version also on the Roll With It single. Right, so that's the Morning Glory and definitely maybe Sings Underway. Let's move to B here now. So I had the digipack of, do you know what I mean? But I also bought them on plastic CD. So that's, do you know what I mean? Plastic, pretty similar, just that it's in plastic, and the word Oasis is in grey, not in silver. Because the plastic one was sort of the limited edition for the fans that really bought it the day it came out. Stand By Me was later re-released on Big Brother. That's an import version. I know it's an import because the writing on there is Chinese. If you look at the where it says "Stand by Me," it's written in Chinese. Um, I must have bought that one twice. That was filmed on Bournemouth Beach the day after Wigan lost 1-0 to Bournemouth because Brian Cannon, so a Wigan fan, he came down to Dean Court where the Cherries smashed the Wigan 1-0, and they filmed it on a beach. In 97, and they released it in January 98, even though that was supposed to be the number one single. Front is yellow, golden sands of Bournemouth, Dorset, England. 4 people on the beach is only 2. They photoshopped 2 of them in. And on the back, it's orange. And it's actually got some really great B-sides. The Theme, great song, was actually originally meant to be on Be Here Now. Flashbacks, just a little kind of cool, no chill out song, Flashbacks. And Street Fighting Man, rocking version of it, Liam singing up the old Rolling Stones tune. That was the last great Oasis single for B-sides, I would say, because that was the last one with 4 B-sides. For some reason, I don't know whether it's the British charts or somebody changed it to you're only allowed 3 tracks on a single. So when Go Let It Out came out in the year 2000, there's only 3 tracks on it. They're great, of course, but that All Around the World was the last great 4-track Oasis single. So here we've got Go Let It Out, they're playing football in a building in New York, Let's All Make Believe, brilliant song. And As Long as They've Got Cigarettes in Hell, another little Noel hidden gem. First track, first single off, Standing on the Shoulder Giants. Who Feels Love, Macy Gray look-alike on the cover, terrible front cover again, and her lips are on the CD. Didn't really need that, but anyway, the songs are good. So Who Feels Love, One Way Road, nice wee Noel track, and then Helter Skelter, it's another Beatles cover. Why not? They've done quite a few Beatles covers down the years, whether it's bootleg or official. Sunday Morning Call, you can see that the glass is broken in the New York skyline with a glass of wine. Carry Us All and Full On. And that was the end of the Standing on the Shoulder Giants singles, because they then decided not to release any more singles from that album, and they took a 2-year break before coming back for Heathen Chemistry. Right, what have we got in here? That is more of my tapes. So these are cassettes in a wee box. What we got here? All Around the World. So that is that's All Around the World tape. It came in a wee sort of paper thing. We just rolled it out like that. What's that? Well, that's the Shaker Maker tape. Of course, that's I think that was the first ever tape of Oasis as the single. I think Supersonic wasn't released on tape. So I bought these on tape at the time. There's the Wonderwall tape. That's actually got a crack in it, which I don't know if you can see the crack there. That's the reason that's got a crack is that I used to have a car, and I would play that all the time to the point where it was never out of the tape machine in the car. And I would always throw the CD case at my feet, and I stood on it one day. Never forget that. That's a testament of time. So Wonderwall on tape. Do you know what I mean on tape? Again, because I had a car, I'd play that in the car on tape. That's probably not even rewind, is it? Absolutely even worse. It's been, round the block a few times. So that was well overplayed. Constantly that summer. Do you know what I mean? What else have we got on tape? Oh, I didn't even know I bought that on tape. I got Who Feels Love on tape with the One Way Road on it. And there you go, I have played it because it's got the same situation. I need to wind it in. It's always better to get a big pen to do that. It's quicker. Go let it out. Go let it in. Sister Psychosis. Don't got a lot to say. Nice wee cassette there. Boys are playing football. Oh, whatever I'm saying. Whatever you do, whatever you say, you know it's all right. So the whatever tape actually says 50p cancer research on it. So obviously bought that one a little bit later, which means I may not have played it. You have a look there. I'm not even sure I've played that. Sometimes I'd pick an Oasis one up. Like I said, if I'm walking in a shop, whether it's a charity shop or a record shop, if there's something from Oasis that I don't have, I'd have bought it. So that's how I picked that one up. What else is in here? I got Slide Away. So Slide Away is actually, that's not the official version. That's another bootleg. That's a bootleg tape. And that is from, I believe that's Canadian. Oh, wait a minute. That was recorded in Sweden. There you go. Time Plays Tricks. I thought that was a Canadian bootleg, but it looks like the Swedish got in first. Better than ABBA. That's Oasis. Slide Away. Give It All You Got. Sunday Morning Call was released on tape. Got that as well. As you can see, I played that one as well. And the car. That's the tips. Is that all of my tips? That is all of my tips. Right, what have we got? Okay, something that's broken. Yeah, why not? Not everything works. So I bought these years ago. Like, you get one for each album. That one's broken. So that's the first. No, that's the second album, of course. What's the Story? Morning Glory, the gold, and definitely maybe it was the silver. It's like in a cigarette-shaped box. It does still click in and open, but that is broken. It just broke by kind of overusing it, overplaying it, overopening it, and just marveling at it. So inside, I would have put the original 4 singles from What's the Story, Morning Glory. Plus, it came with a booklet, which has some photos in it and also shows you the listing of the first. It's such irony there that Oasis did that. They did the singles discography, but they put the same singles discography in the Morning Glory box as they did in the Definitely Maybe one, and they included whatever in it when whatever's on neither. So a bit lazy there by Oasis. Noel, yeah, or Creation, and that's the DM one. Definitely Maybe that actually opens, and it opens all right. It closes all right. That's silver, and in the Definitely Maybe one, the exact same booklet, almost, just with a few different pictures. So the front page obviously is different. It says Definitely Maybe. The back page is exactly the same. Front bit's exactly the same, and then just some of the pictures are different. Singles of Definitely Maybe, singles of Morning Glory. Both of those came with an interview disc, and the bad news is that the interview disc is also exactly the same. So I've got it twice. Interview disc. What's the difference? That's in the Morning Glory box. That's in the Definitely Maybe box. What's the difference in listening to it? Nothing. They're both the same. Here we go. What else have we got here? A few other rarities. The live experience. That is there and then. So I made my own CD box for that for some reason. But the original CD just came like that, and I didn't like the fact that it was just lazily in a sleeve. So there's only 3 tracks of that, and it is Wonderwall, Cigarettes and Alcohol, and Champion Supernova. I always wondered why they didn't release it as a single, because that would have been a UK #1. They should have put Champion Supernova as the lead track on that and released that as a single. Instead, they gave it away as a free, look, to be sold with home video Oasis. So that was given away free. And then I just made my own CD of it because I wanted to make believe that it was a single. And then I also had, because there was an empty box there, I put a version of Setting Sun by Noel Gallagher in it. I downloaded that illegally online from Napster, and it's a 2-minute acoustic version of that. So There and Then live. Sally Can Wait is the real lyric from a song, Don't Look Back in Anger, but the Sally Can Wait CD is a double disc. Really, really cool. I remember like there's about 30 different interviews on it. It's just loads of different interviews during the years with Oasis. Comes with a nice wee booklet too. I remember reading this back in the day. When was this out? 97 that came out, so that's a Sally Can Wait. That was to bridge the gap between Be Here Now. It's a good one to have. 3 import singles from Morning Glory now. It's a roll with the import, which comes with a bonus sticker. I think I put that on my guitar. Oh, I didn't. I still have that bonus Oasis sticker. Actually unused. I didn't put that on my guitar. What does the CD look like? It just looks like that. The roll with it. So the bonus. I had another sticker I put on my guitar. I don't know where I got that. Oh yeah, the fan club sent it to me. So this bonus sticker, previously unreleased tracks, is a lie. Because on it is Top Tonight, Acquiesce, and Head Shrinker, all of which were previously released. I think that it says that because in Japan they weren't. Don't Look Back in Anger. Import release. The difference is that the CD was black and white, and the song on it was "Come On Feel the Noise" only. There's only 2 songs on that, and also it says "Don't Look Back in Anger" on the front, which they never used to actually write. Yeah, the import singles wrote the name of the song on it. Look, it says "Roll with It" there. It says "Don't Look Back in Anger," and then on this one, it actually says "Some Might Say." But in the UK, you didn't need to write the name of the song. Everyone knows what the song is. Well, I always have a new song out. What's it? Some might say. Well, that's it then. Some might say. And on there, you just got to listen up and bring it on down. And the CD looks like that. Which is a blank CD. There you go. But what else? A few more random CDs. That's a Supersonic radio edit. It's got 2 songs on it. It's got the radio edit and the normal version. The CD itself is quite an interesting one because it looks like the front cover of Supersonic. It looks like that room where they recorded in, the doors. So there's 2 songs in that. It's the same front cover as the regular Supersonic. Heathen Chemistry demos. Thank you to the Sunday Times. This was free in the Sunday Times. First time I heard Hung in a Bad Place. They also stuck on their Gas Panic demo, Songbird, and a Stop Crying Your Heart Out demo, plus a video and interview with Noel and Gem. And the CD looks like that. Another Supersonic. Oh, it's an import. Supersonic import. And that's Blair. I don't know which country it's imported from. Sony Music. It must be USA then. That's Oasis' debut single in the USA then. Go Let It Out import in a digipack. Again, don't know which country. Sony Music. Maybe it's USA. Dreams We Have of Children Fade Away. That was Sunday Times gave that away. That was a really great little gift. 11 tracks, including There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, The Butterfly Collector, and All You Need Is Love, another Beatles version. And those are the only places you can see or hear those on CD from Oasis, which is not totally official, but obviously under permission with Noel Gallagher. Wibbling Rivalry, which again not an official release, and that was released on Fierce Panda, where a panda actually appears on a tree on the CD, and that has 2 tracks on it, which is Noel's track and Liam's track, but believe me, it's only 1 track. It's just an interview. It's called 14 Minutes of Verbal Mayhem. That's the longest ever interview to chart in the UK, and it's also the highest UK chart position for an interview. And it also was on an unofficial release. That's why it says OAS star asterisk S. There's no actual Oasis official release there, but Noel obviously didn't complain about it. And also on that, All Around the World is still, I think, the longest ever number 1 single in terms of length. of the song. One of those came with a free poster. I don't know which one. Something from the Heathen Chemistry area. Must have been the Go Let It Out one. Came with a free poster. Right, that's definitely maybe Morning Glory did that. What's that? That's a cassette I made myself of Oasis live at Tea in the Park. I taped it off the radio. Right, that's it's only about 50% of my Oasis collection, but we'll do another video.